Okay, now I did promise I'm going to talk about sports for anyone who isn't yet in a habit of having, sports activities in their life right now, and they just want to make it more of a harsh routine where they don't skip any of their sports. So anything I'm going to talk about sports right now, it's really important for me to emphasize that everything I'm going to say now is suitable for any hard, difficult task that you have to tackle, whether it's for your finances or your digital albums or even sorting out your garage. Everything I say now about sports applies to any task that you procrastinate because you can't find the energy to tackle it. So, three things about sports, how to love, maintain, and enjoy. Impact is only a result of consistency. So the only thing that matters isn't the type of sports you do, and it isn't the length and time you put into it. The only thing that matters is, are you able to repeat it again and again? So even if it's just 10 minutes in the morning or even if it's just 10 push-ups, if you're going to do it every day, within a month, you're going to have a really nice arm muscle. But if you try to do it for, 30 minutes and you strain your muscle and it's a difficult experience for the body, then you won't be able to repeat it every day. And then the impact is gone. So impact is only created by consistency. So that's the only thing that matters. Not the kind of sports, not the length, not the location, not if you're alone, not with your trainer, nothing matters. The only thing that matters is, are you able to repeat it? That's why it's very important that you commit to something that is easy for you to maintain. Okay, sustainability is the key word here. Now, easy overachievement is where things get interesting. Brain research tells us that our brain is hardwired to prevent suffering. Our brain does not, and our body does not want us to suffer in any way. And the minute we go into a suffering element in our life, our brain will want to keep us from harm and will help us prevent having that experience in our life. So if we take this into sports, for example, and if you're going on a jog and you finish it with high pulse and you're sweating and you're tired and you've made an effort, then the brain wires that experience as a bit of a suffering experience. And because it loves you so much, it will prevent you from repeating it again and again. That's why it's super important that you wire every experience, especially if it's not a habit, especially if it's tough to execute. You have to wire it as an positive experience. So this means you want to stop 5 or 10 minutes before it gets hard and harsh and tensed and sweaty. You want to stop just before it gets to that point because you want to wire the experience as positive. That means your body and brain will help you repeat it. Once you want to go out on a jog again, it won't offer any resistance, or at least it will offer very minimum resistance to it. So we want to work with those elements. We don't want our body and minds to offer resistance. Same goes for digital albums. If, you're sitting down and you're doing that work, which is a lot of work and it's hard work sometimes, just make sure you finish it before you start being angry or uncomfortable because you're putting so much energy into it and it's so draining. Stop before it gets hard. That way, whenever that task will pop up in your calendar again, you will offer very minimum resistance to it and you will find it easier to find time and energy to do it again and again until you finally finish that digital album, which may take 6 months' time. But I don't care about how long it takes. I want the energy around that task to be in your element. I want it to be fairly easy, to you to execute on it. So that's what I'm looking for. That fun feeling to when you sit down and you have to even sit on your finances. Okay, we don't want anything to be too much of an effort. Okay, going back to sports, no need to increase. I've been jogging for 15 years now, at least, maybe a little bit more, while I was pregnant, after I had my babies, blah, 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 always kept in shape. The reason for it is I've never tried to increase the amount of time or length that I do with my jogs, my walks, my tennis, my yoga. I always do the minimum that feels good to me. Specifically around jogs, I limit myself to up to 30 minutes. So I don't care, the length, how many kilometers I jog. I just want it to be not more than 30 minutes, because I want to play tennis afterwards, and I want to go visit my friends, and I want to spend time with my kids, and I want to read a book, and there's so many things I want to do. I don't want to involve myself in jogging for an hour or more. That's my decision. I'm just saying that you don't need to start running 2 miles in order to put yourself in a position where you're able to run 3 or 4 and then 5. We don't need to scale up on that ladder. We can just do a 2 mile, 3 mile jog, and that's it for 15 years. And you should stay in shape with very, very minimum effort. So these are the 3 elements. And as I said, the most crucial one is understanding that you want to wire experiences as positive in order to get the body to cooperate with you and not offer resistance. And then you'll be able to repeat it again and again. And once you're consistent about something, you're creating an impact. And then very, very easy to stay in shape that way. Okay. Now, if you're already, of course, engaged in sports and you like to increase and achieve more and more, then naturally the slide is not for you. Okay. It's more for people who don't have it in a habit and want to find a way to incorporate it into their lives with minimum effort. So this slide is not necessarily for people who are competitive or like to push themselves to the edge, which is great and it's fine. And they already have that sports element in their habit. So that's fabulous. So it's irrelevant for them.